some of our historic gems into some digital gold for you all today. So just a little bit about me. I am the Director of Marketing and Public Relations for Lakeside Inn in Mount Dora and the Hacienda in New Port Richey. We have a lot of dogs and 2 cats, and I currently am the Vice President of New Port Richey Main Street, and also just finished serving on the marketing committee for Visit Florida. To tell you a little bit about Lakeside, it was founded in 1883, so it is the oldest continually operating hotel in the state of Florida because it's always been a hotel. So it is independently owned by a couple, Mr. and Mrs. Gunderson, Jim and Alexandra. They are all about the heart of the property. They're what made people want to stay and made people want to work there as well. So at this particular property, we have 90 rooms. They've been restoring it continuously throughout the 15 years they've owned it. And it is on the Register of Historic Places. And one of the fun facts is Calvin Coolidge actually stayed there for a month after he got out of office. So that was just kind of like his zen zone to relax. And now the Hacienda, which is pink, which is what I first and foremost love about it. But it was founded in 1927. It's in the heart of downtown New Port Richey. It's a 40-room boutique hotel with a full-service restaurant and bar. And this was actually, New Port Richey was known as Hollywood East. So a lot of stars from the East Coast would come down from Broadway and sports stars, and they would try, but then, the Depression happened, so not so much luck. But, so the challenge, it's how do you make history trend in this fast-moving digital world? So obviously we're all trying to find ways to keep something that some may view as dusty, bright, shiny, and new. So people here actually do have an affiliation with a historic brand or property. Oh good, my people. That's fantastic. So this is my very official attention span report. Recently updated, as you can see, for the Taylor and Travis engagement, which is consuming more than 10% of my month. But yeah, so we're constantly in this battle to find ways to stay relevant. And it's not easy. So we have to think about our market and our target audience and just keep chugging along. So as far as us, we started from scratch at the Hacienda. So we did not have any digital footprint. I was hired in 2022 and just kind of said, here you go. You got a blank page and a blank slate. See what you want to do. So I did. And I basically realized that the best way we could work together was really building a community, a network of people that really were excited about the hotel, were really excited about the history, and finding ways to make that relevant and also current. So working with the community was super helpful to begin with, because everyone in the community was so excited that this building that had sat there for, over a decade, just rotting, was now becoming, once again, this beautiful gem in the downtown New Port Richey. And what was really neat to see was all of these other businesses come and be a part of it and start opening, what was once like a ghost town. Now there are all these little coffee shops and stores and activities popping up, and it's been an incredible thing to see. So we have, being a very small property, again, it's just 2 owners. We don't have a huge marketing budget, so a lot of it is the grassroots, the getting people. We don't have the big video editing budget yet. I'm hoping, I'm working on it. But what we have done is found kind of workarounds as much as we can. So we have worked with local and regional influencers. My personal favorite, and I'm not saying this because she's in the room, is Miss Sarah Finney. And and she has done amazing things for both of our properties, and it's really been wonderful. Obviously we've worked wonderfully with the DMOs. Florida Sports Coast has been great to us, as has Visit Lake and Visit Florida. But what we found is while they may have their own agendas, and those are positive. So for instance, with Florida Sports Coast, it's a lot about the scalloping weekend when they have one of their fan tours. So what we do also is then we find some influencers, by we I mean me, but we find people just by looking on social media that really match our message and reach the kind of audience we want. So maybe they have 10,000 followers, maybe they have 50 or 120 if we're lucky, but it's about who are they trying to reach. So are they going after family travel? Are they going after people who love St. Augustine and who love going to historic places? Well, then that's who we want to reach out to. And we've had really great success with that. So just something as simple as exchanging a couple meals and a couple nights stay. And look at this, you've got videos that are reaching hundreds of thousands of people with really very little money spent, if any. And then something we've done is engage locally with the community. So in this instance, we had Little Shop of Horrors playing at the Ritchie Suncoast Theater. So we made a Sudley Seymour salad. And what was fantastic is then the theater shared it with their 11,000 followers. And all of the families who had kids in the show shared it. So it was just a great, just grassroots way to go about it. And working with Florida Sports Coast, we had one of our biggest packages really was this Sunday travel guide that we had for the Boston Globe. So that was a huge thing, and it was just, once again, from having people come and stay with us. So one of the things that we really tried to do is make the history present and keep it cool. It doesn't have to be dusty, it doesn't have to be boring. So having events that kind of highlight the history of the properties engages the community. They always sell out because everybody wants to get dressed up, everybody wants to be a part of the Prohibition era. And it really just kind of keeps feeding that message that we are a part of the community and we do respect the history and the local legends. So what we'll often do is these kinds of events, but we will do special menus at times where we'll feature something from a decades ago menu. We'll create packages with walking tours that highlight the local celebrities. And then this one I'm sure comes up for everyone who has a historic property is the ghosts. How do we handle that? Because for me, I'm like still waiting to see one. I'm all about it, but so far no luck. But that's a question you get a lot, and you have to kind of walk that line carefully because some people are super into it, and then some people are terrified. So when I get the question in a big group setting, my go-to is just always to say, oh my gosh, well, it's so beautiful. Why would you want to go anywhere else? Like, of course you want to stay here, right? And that's usually enough. Like, people will, then if they have more questions, they'll pull you aside and kind of, so what can you actually tell me? And then I do usually, my go-to at Hacienda is, there was a guy who wanted to see something, he was scared, but he really wanted to see a ghost, didn't see anything, was disappointed. Next morning he wakes up and there was a coin from 1927 on his nightstand. And that was the year the hotel opened. So he was very excited about that. They're like, that's safe. That's a safe one. But at the same time, we do have options at both properties. So we have a ghost tour in Mount Dora, a ghost tour in Newport Richie. So we can always refer people to that. And they're very popular. So it definitely is a market for it. So the most important thing, in my opinion, is to have fun. So as far as I'm concerned, the good times that we've had where we will get the humor, but we go on pop culture and seasonal hooks. So just to give you an idea, let's see if I can get my mouse over there. Hopefully this isn't too loud, I'm sorry. As you can see, huge budget. This is all done in CapCut and Canva for the most part. But, and this one goes on, and we have they were doing mop bucket, curling, all kinds of things like that. Yes, dockside fencing was very popular. Housekeeping did some floor gymnastics. So all of these are on our Facebook. You can watch their entirety. But this one was one of my favorites. We had Jim Cantor was coming around. He was in the area. Rumors were starting, and he was in the area. And we said, "Well, what's the worst that could happen? Let me just say, hey, do you want to come stay here at Newport Richie?" sent him an Instagram message. Sure enough, he's like, all right, I'll be right over. And I was like, okay, nobody thought that was gonna happen, but it did. And so it just goes to show you, take the chance, you never know. So he did end up staying. So I don't know if any of you remember there was the commercial for the Weather Channel, probably like 10, 15 years ago. But it's like he shows up at the beach and everyone starts running. Okay, so that was the thought process here. Again, very high budget, you can say that. Oh, who's that? Yeah. So it goes on to say, you know, don't panic, we'll be safe. And then here is being Rafe, recreating something that you might recognize. Oh. So there you go. So what we have found is that staff engagement really is the secret weapon, because when they see the people are appreciating it, calling them out, they start coming to you with ideas. They start coming to you and pitching thoughts and, oh, have you seen this TikTok yet? We should try and recreate that. So a couple that we've done recently that have been very successful, we of course had to do the quintessential Full House intro. And then we did, this one was one of our most viral. We reached over almost 300,000 people with this one. And it was just, you know, but we got to play with the fountain. We were like, this was the excuse we needed to get in the fountain. So, and Oscar, as you can tell, is quite a personality. So we feature him in a lot of our content because everyone who meets him just falls in love with him. So this was, these two, this is trouble. Like, you just can't leave them alone, truly. But people love to see it. Everyone's like, Oscar is the hacienda. You know, we start getting messages like that on social media, and it just goes to show that, okay, what we're doing is working. So a couple other humor-driven posts. We had a Google review from The Batman. It was 4 stars. So we thought, okay, we could do this where we turn it into, we want to gain that 5th star for The Batman. So we put up the bat signal and posted that on social media, and everybody loved it. So then for April Fools, which is one of my just favorite challenges, we do the, had to come up with something creative. So we did Lakeside Inn painted to match the hacienda, a slide at the hacienda, and then I didn't think I was getting better at my editing skills, but the submarine and the now offering flamingos with Oscar in the courtyard were very popular, but a surprising amount of people showed up looking for flamingos. And had 3 people call to book the submarine on Lake Dora. So, you know, just take it with a grain of salt. You may get one woman cry that there were no flamingos. It was a whole thing. So, but we had some good laughs over that. So, got 3 magic tricks for you. So 1, repackage the nostalgia. We have these nostalgic keychains that we made that kind of match the history. And we always love to share the old postcards, and especially if we can find ones that have a little bit of humor to them. Number 2, it would be to create shareable moments. So we do this by, it could be something visually appealing, it could also be an event that attracts people, or that community engagement. So at Lakeside Inn, we had the cast from the Nutcracker, from the Mount Dora Ballet come, and we took photos all around. And so, of course, the Mount Dora Ballet, the theater, all of the kids performing in it, they all shared those photos. We had a Taylor Swift tribute concert at Sims Park next to the hacienda. So we did Swiftinis, and we did friendship bracelets, and it was very popular. People were posting, oh, look what I got at the hacienda. We had a gentleman reach out to us before we were even open who wanted to engage to his wife-to-be. So we had a professional photographer come. They got to do the hard hats, they took photos all over the property, and before we were even open, we had already started to gain an audience from that. They are now happily married, just so you know. We started doing tasty toppers as just an Instagrammable option for people to try, but it's also during our happy hour, so people really do appreciate that. And then we host the Modis Market at Lakeside Inn every year. We do not pay anything for it. It's an event organized by Orange Blossom Market Co. But during that, there are all kinds of photo opportunities. So people are just taking pictures all over our property. So if you can get an event and you can draw an event, it's going to create those Instagrammable moments for you. Why not? We also really try to market with heart. So, of course, you want to lead with authenticity and be playful, but always protect the heritage. So one of the things we found was a woman had, her daughter had made a reservation at Lakeside Inn for her mother's 100th birthday. She was a lifelong resident of Mount Dora. They were just coming 10, 12 people. So we thought, well, we could do something with that, right? So we reached out to the Mount Dora Carriage Co., had her get a grand royal entrance, and really make it special, and just sent it out to a few local media outlets, and lo and behold, Fox News came out. They aired it several times that day and a few times throughout the week, and it gained some great online traction as well. So we tried also with weddings and events, 102nd birthdays, but those moments really speak to people. We just had a 70th birthday surprise where her 4 children came and showed up at the hacienda. And that video has reached almost 1 million people. And it was one of those ones that I didn't necessarily expect it to, but I think it was just such a genuine captured moment that people could relate to. So you just never know. You just gotta put it out there and see what happens, what sticks. And these are the results from the hacienda. So you can see a consistent growth in followers, but also engagement. And okay, so maybe 11,000 plus followers doesn't sound like a lot to some of these big brands, but for us as a small property, what it's leading to is sold out rooms, sold out events, booked dining reservations, and for us, that's the goal, right? So for the smaller historic properties, we're not going to be the Don Cesar. We're going to be the small little pink hotel in downtown Newport Richey that has 40 rooms and lots of charm and a great staff that welcomes everybody. So for us, this is very promising. So basically, to sum it up, you want to make your history the headline and not the footnote. Lead with it. Do not be afraid to take chances, embrace the history, but absolutely make sure you are taking a step into the future, and don't be afraid to, because it can be a lot of fun. And so far, it's been very engaging. So I would just like to say thank you so much. And I'd be happy to take some questions if anybody has any questions or anything like that. Yes?
Jessica with Destination Panama City. Just interested to hear if you have any suggestions about how you are seeking out your local regional influencers and how you're vetting them. Because we've had a few hits and probably a lot more misses.
Sure.
That we're just not delivering, content like it's supposed to be, not always hitting the brand. We feel like we had thorough discussions about that. So if you have any recommendations.
Yeah, so one of the things I found is that, because I've had a similar experience myself for sure, but what you need to do is really make sure that you're seeing that the way they're messaging themselves really is consistent with what you want to see. Not that they're just trying to come get a free stay, or maybe for me, I get sometimes these beauty influencers that reach out and they want to do a collaboration, and I'm like, that doesn't really benefit us in any way. Okay, maybe they have 120,000 followers, but they're just going to take a picture like that, and that's going to be it for us, So reaching out, I think, too, to local influencers. So for instance, like Sarah Finney with us, Tampa-based or Orlando-based, regional, and hitting those pockets where it maybe is like 50 to 80,000, and go with them, because they're still building. They want to generate good content for you. Sometimes the people who are already established They don't care. They have their following. They're making them. Yeah. Yes.
I'm Katie with Visit Jacksonville.
Hi, Katie.
You obviously have amazing owners who let you have a lot of free reign. Did you have to talk them into it to have more fun content than that?
Talking them into it, I wouldn't say. I just kind of did it.
Oh.
And they were happy when people started responding well. So, I mean, I can understand that sometimes it might be a challenge depending on who your employer is. But I would say just kind of like dip one toe in, you know, try one slightly comical or something that you think will be attention grabbing and see how they react. And you're like, oh, look, did you see how many reactions we got to this? Maybe I should keep going. Maybe I should do 1 month. So I think you just kind of just ease in. And sometimes it is better to ask for forgiveness, I must say.
Follow-up question.
Yeah.
Have you noticed one channel over another performs the bookings versus, you know, like sometimes you do TikToks and they're great entertainment, but they do not have any ROI. So I'm just curious.
Okay, so I think with a historic brand, generally speaking, a TikTok, I mean, I'll post sometimes things on there where it's like, oh, look at the pretty pink house, you know, and look at how Instagrammable and TikTok-y this is. But for us, it's mainly Facebook and Instagram. Like, most of our engagement is on Facebook. And I do think because it's a historic property, we get a lot of older people, so that's where they're looking, which is fine. So however it comes in, but yeah, I would say we do TikToks, but if we're doing an Instagram video, it just kind of gets posted there, you know? Anyone else? Yes?
This presentation is something that we can take back to a hotel owner?
Sure, so actually, all you have to do, thank you for mentioning that. So by the QR code right there, that will take you to my Facebook page. But if you take my email address, you can email me and I will be happy to send the presentation to you. Is that it? All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Enjoy your next session, folks. Oh, yeah. For sure.
We've done a lot of stuff with our destination. Collaborate. I know you do.
I know.
She's here. Yeah, I'm worried. Why didn't come 2 years ago? She's been over.
Yes, we have.
Yes, and that's what I'm going to do.
Oh, yeah. We're the same way, it's like we're not proactive, social signals are sure. Yeah, that would be And actually, I'm gonna be sending you something. Thank you so much. Because we're coming up on 15 years at Lakeside. So, do you have your? Nice meeting you. Absolutely. Thank you for coming. Thank God for your smiling face.
Never know. It's like this girl gives presentations every day. This old hat for her.
I was like, oh, good, she's here, so I can really call her out now.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Very kind of you. So, congratulations, and now you can let loose.
Girl, I'm about to go have some wine right now. Well, very briefly. I'll see you later. Thank you, sir. I'm just obsessed with your purse. So.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, exactly. Clearly, it's my vibe.
It's like the perfect form of iPhone, so.
Yeah. So what did you do?
I'm the social media manager.
Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. That's awesome. Very cool. How long have you been in that position?
I started almost 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
I feel like we featured them.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah, no, I'm seeing you. I see you what you're doing. Yeah, and I mean, very, very happy with our partnership. Yeah, for sure.
Have you been to the Governor's Conference before? Was this your first
This is
one?
my first one.
Oh, okay.
First one, first time speaking.
Jump right
Go
in.
all in.
Yeah,
Go
I've
all
been here
in.
for 40 years and I've never spoken.
Like, why not? Well, I said, what do I have to lose? I'll put it in an application.
Yeah. No, that's great. I have like several partners.
Yeah.
Sandra from DeSoto County speaking tomorrow. Adam Thomas.
Awesome. Yeah, yeah.
this afternoon.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that's great.
Yeah, it's great to see our little places represented.
I'm curious to hear what you think, at the end of it, but I mean, I would say this is a really fun conference.
Yeah.
Even though it's like a lot of work for us and half the year and stuff, it's still a lot of fun.
Well, at least you didn't have to run the 5K, I guess.
I was too tired.
Yeah, no.
I felt like sleep.
Yeah, that was a long day for sure.
You get early starts and late ends.
Yeah.
All right, you need help with anything? You good?
Thank you so much.
Okay, good. No
Yeah.
problem. We'll see you
All right,
around.
I'll see you guys later.